Once slipped on Thursday, the possible contest of the US election results is about to happen, which will be the worst-case scenario for the markets. The ruble opened the trade with gains, but its position is very unstable. In case of Biden's victory, the Russian currency is likely to depreciate. Despite persistent uncertainty around the outcome of the US election, global markets saw a significant rise yesterday, with oil gaining 3%. Brent crude is again trading above $40 per barrel, which is a good sign for the ruble. At the same time, this uptrend could be partially caused by the closing of short positions. Oil prices gained support from the bullish data on oil inventories. The report from the US EIA showed a large drop in oil stockpiles by 8 million barrels, whereas analysts expected to see a rise in crude stocks. Besides, the market sentiment was boosted by the news about the OPEC Plus agreement. It's reported that the members of the alliance are ready to delay the increase of oil production from January and will most likely cut the existing output volumes. However, these positive factors have lost their driving force. Investors are now focused on current challenges for the energy market. Thus, the new lockdown measures in the European countries, crude oversupply, and a rise in Libyan oil production keep the prices in the narrow trading range. Oil is unlikely to rally in the near term as long as the pressure from the coronavirus pandemic persists. Oil has been growing over the past 3 sessions, even despite high uncertainty around the US election. It seems that only now markets have realized the possible risks. If Joe Biden wins, he will most probably tighten the restrictive quarantine measures in the US. This will definitely undermine weak fuel demand and trigger a massive sell-off in oil. Brent futures contract with the nearest expiration edged lower by 1.5% early in the day to trade at $40.50 per barrel. WTI futures followed the same trajectory and settled above $38 per barrel. The presidential race between Biden and Trump turned out to be very intense. The Democratic candidate threatened to impose new sanctions against Russia. Yet the ruble managed to advance despite the downside risks. It opened the session moving sharply higher by 1% against the US dollar. The bears are trying to push the dollar-ruble pair below the 78 mark. Currently, the pair has found support at 77.10. If the ruble holds firmly near the level of 78.70 in the coming days, next week it will have a chance to strengthen further to the area of 75 against the US dollar. On the other hand, the downtrend on the ruble may continue, as investors may react to the announcement of Biden's victory at any moment. Joe Biden is known to have a tough stance against Russia. It's very likely that Donald Trump will challenge the results of the election in the US Supreme Court, just like George Bush did in 2000. The market situation will mostly depend on the news background and the time needed to complete the votes count. The increased uncertainty may provoke social unrest in the US. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.